Do we stay or do we go? That's the question that's been on my mind all week, as I know it's been on a lot of other people's mind. And I recall the story of the four lepers in the Bible who asked that very question. And they came with two options that both, in all practicality, led to death. They said, if we sit here in the city where there's a famine, we'll die. And if we go, then we may be captured and we'll die there too. It's the thing that I'm feeling about virtual versus face-to-face instruction. And there's not a famine in the land, but there is a pandemic in the land, and it is the coronavirus. And I'm going to tell you what, virtual instruction has its challenges just as face-to-face has its. And I'm sitting here questioning, as a parent and as a classroom teacher, which one? My options are just the same and just as dire. But God gave me the story because he said, as I sent the prophet Elijah to tell the people of Israel then that I have a promise for them to bring them out, that I am going to rain down food from heaven. And he did just exactly what he said he was going to do. I realized that God has also sent us several prophets through the scripture and some through practicality that have given us plans. And they are not plan A, B, or C, or B plus C. This is God's plan. And God has clearly several times stated to us that if we want to heal this land, if we want to get out of the situation that doesn't equal death on either side of the gate, that we must humble ourselves and pray. So my friends, my family, my colleagues, and most importantly, those of you who believe in the power of prayer, I am seeking today for you to join me as I begin to do what God has told us to do. He said, pray. That is the plan. That is the option. So if you believe in the power of prayer, I want you to follow me on this journey of two very important steps that I'm doing. The first step is I'm taking my prayers, or my worries and my concerns, and I'm changing them into prayers. So every time I think to write, tweet, text, or say on a phone call something that I'm worried about or concerned about, I change it to prayer. For example, I say a lot, high school students can't social distance, especially in the hallway. Instead of me saying that, I'm now saying, God, change the behavior of high school students. Let them be aware of their surroundings so that if they are in transition, that they will be able to social distance and keep them healthy and safe. And then I ask God to give us plan and wisdom, and those that are working with them the opportunity to see in areas that we're not thinking about to be able to do so. And the other big thing that I'm doing that I want everyone else to commit to that is committed to this, that want this plan, God's plan of prayer, is that every time I want to cast judgment when I see something that is different from what I believe in or that is not like my situation, instead of me saying, that's just ignorant or that's just lazy, or how in the world can they think that could happen? I began to change it to a prayer. Lord, please provide the leaders the information, the tools necessary, the insight necessary. Let them have a perspective that is so expansive that everyone is able to see it and they will be able to know the details of the thought. Provide them things in which they cannot provide themselves. And Lord, thank you for doing just that. When I get through step one, I have released my cares to the Lord, and that gives me power and strength because I get out of self and it goes to step two. Step two is special to me because this happened for me when it comes to what I call strategic and targeted prayer. One time I was in a job, in a situation where same thing. If I stayed on this job or in this position, I felt like I was going to die. And if I left the position, it wasn't going to be good because I would be quitting and I would be losing a salary. But God saw fit that not only would he allow me to be able to get through what we were going through in the fight of that, but he put some intercessors in there for me. These intercessors were strategic because they knew the lay of the land. See, I didn't know this type of devil that I was fighting here, but they knew because they had worked in it, been there, and they were praying people. So they also knew how to encourage me. Right now, students and educators need those who understand the land to begin to go before God and to be able to speak to him in the language that knows exactly what we may see coming. And we need spiritual people that know how to go in the heavenly language that knows what God only knows that sees coming, so that we can then be able to prepare and help those who are in the fight be strong enough to sustain. So I'm asking for some people to join me and partner with me and be in prayer partners. There is going to be a link that you can sign up for, that you are saying you're going to strategically be able to pray because you are connected and understand the challenge. So you know how to petition God. I know that even outside of myself, that I know the prayers to pray for a principal with children of their own in school that may be in an alternative high school and the challenges that come with a small staff. I know the prayers to be praying for that principal, but I may not know everything to pray for an elementary school principal. I know the prayers to pray for a parent of a middle school student and a high school student because I see those challenges. But I may not know the prayers that I need to be praying for students and parents that are having to have deal with students with special needs at home and how to engage them in learning. So I am calling on us to go with the one and the only plan that will be able to heal our land and effectively help our children, our students, our teachers, and everyone on this earth involved. Will you join me in prayer? Will you sign up today? Will you be a strategic intercessor partner with me as I continue from now until God gives the health and the light that this is over? And we will. And we will. God has a plan for us. And that's why my praise is greater than my struggle. Please hit subscribe and the post notification bell so that you may be updated when new content is available. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings.